This is the iPhone, and you're all familiar with it by now, but it hasn't always looked like this. Only a few years ago, the iPhone looked like this, with big borders and a small display, with a home button. So what happened? How did the iPhone's design change? Let's start from the beginning. This design started with the iPhone 3G, the very first iPhone, and this had the first home button and the big borders that we all know from the old iPhones. And this design was used from the very beginning of the iPhone, but it did look very different then. It had a pebble-like design and a tiny display, and from then on, the design changed every year, and it really improved. From the small, flat-edge design of the iPhone 4, the iPhone 5 adding a bigger 4-inch display, the iPhone 5S introducing one of the biggest features of the old iPhones, Touch ID. And this was a great feature, adding a convenient fingerprint scanner. And this feature still stayed on the iPad, and still on the iPhone SE 3rd gen. But the iPhone 6 had one of the biggest design changes the iPhone has ever had, with a new ultra-thin design with Touch ID, bigger screens, and a thin border. And this was one of the biggest iPhone design changes ever. And this phone became one of the best-selling phones of all time. But this design had a major problem, and we all know how easily you could bend this phone, and this was a big problem with this design. So by the iPhone 7, the design got a bit thicker again, but kept the same core design, and it stayed like this until the iPhone 10. This was the biggest iPhone design change ever. This added an all-screen OLED, rounded corners, and Face ID. This was a first for iPhone, with an all-screen design in full OLED, which is very new for iPhone. Another first for iPhone was Face ID, which is still used on flagship iPhones, and this one iPhone has led the design for every single iPhone ahead of it. It was such a big change to the iPhones. If this phone hadn't existed, we would still be using the home button and Touch ID. And though the iPhone's design has changed a little bit over the years, with the iPhone 14 Pro introducing dynamic ions, which added a hole punch, replacing the notch and adding a new interactive software feature, the frosted glass and rounded corners of the iPhone 15, which made for a cleaner look and easy hold, and the titanium of the iPhone 15 Pro, which is more durable and light. It has still stayed with the core design of the iPhone 10 from all these years. And that's where we are now, with the iPhone 16. And this is how we got from the old iPhones with the home button and the small displays to where we are now. And that's all. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to say thanks for watching to the end of the video, and please feel free to comment what favorite iPhone you have and which design you liked, whether you liked the one with the home button or the new ones with Face ID and the OLED screens. And personally, I think this is a good design era for the iPhone, and even though it could add new designs, I'm still looking forward to what the future has for iPhone.